Hi guys, I thought that I would make this video while I'm just questing, and I'm just doing a quest in North Watchhold, I think it's called. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about how people seem to be so fearful of this official Blizzard servers for Hardcore Classic, and I don't think there's anything to really be afraid of apart from Blizzard stuffing shit up, which they seem to always do. But then don't forget, whether you think they're stuffing up or not is subjective. So I'm wondering if the Hardcore Classic server was set up because it's on one of Blizzard's official servers at the moment, but just with an add-on. I'm wondering if it's been created so that Blizzard can assess the viability of introducing it as a new way to play the game, and then they can also come along and they can relax the rules, which are extremely strict, I've got to say, and I'll go into that. And then Blizzard can be the heroes of the day to make life easier on hardcore, where yeah, it's not all roses. There's lots of things wrong with it. So we'll see how we go. And I like how it's all on one server at the moment, and it gives a real feeling of camaraderie, and that everyone is so supportive. Like in guild, people are really, they'll answer any question. Everyone's really supportive. If you die or if you get a new piece of gear, everyone's like, wow, grats. And we don't have that on retail. That just kind of doesn't exist really. And also professions become much more meaningful. You need to have cooking, give yourself a little bit of an edge, eat some food. You need to have first aid so that you can bandage yourself when you run into trouble, and you need to maximise your professions. Now, some people take engineering or other things for reasons I'll go into later, and then swap over to something else, or they might take leatherworking and engineering. Once they've got everything that they need, then they'll swap over to other things, maybe come back to it, and each time you do, you've got to start all over again from the beginning. So that's not ideal. And other things that I think are a problem are that we can't group, and we can only run one particular instance of a dungeon ever. So if you run Ragefight Chasm, if you run Wailing Caverns, you can only run that once in the entire life of your character, which is a little bit restrictive, I think. So I don't know. I think that when Blizzard comes along and does these servers, that it's going to be so much better for our hardcore tunes. And my premise is that the whole thing is you have one life. If you die, you die. And given that we only have one life, why on earth can we not make that life as powerful as we possibly can, with consumables, with being able to run dungeons more than once? Although I would think that maybe a weekly lockout or a 3 or 4 day lockout would be good. And in all likelihood anyway, after 3 or 4 days or a week, you can go back, run the dungeon again, and you'd still need the piece of gear that you missed out on in the beginning. But one of the major things is that you can't group. There's a law against grouping, apart from, as I said, in dungeons. So if there's a quest to kill elites, well, unless you're a really solid toon with really good gear, you're not going to be able to do that. And those sorts of quests have actually claimed a lot of lives. And that is far from ideal. And there are certain quests out there that are not able to be done. For instance, the Ashenvale quest to hand in a deadly blunderbuss, unless you're willing to go engineering and then work up to over 100 points, I'm not sure what it is, and you might need leatherworking as well. And then there are you even can't continue on with that profession because there are certain mats that you need that you need to buy. And, if you go back to your chosen profession, then you start from zero again. So I had no ability to hand in the deadly blunderbuss, so I missed out on that nice blue reward that I really, really wanted. Now, why stop us from trading, from using an auction house? I mean, it's not like we're going to have a lot of gold anyway, right? It'll be quite a good economy. Why do that? Stop us grouping, stop us trading, stop us using the mail. To me, that's just ridiculous, and it's a bit of overkill. And yeah, Blizzard gets to come along and make our lives much, much easier. And for that, I think that they are going to, a lot of people will be happy about it, put it that way. So I'm not a fan of that. And I just want to be able to make my character the most powerful it can be, because it's only got one life. You know? What hope have I got if I'm in greys or whites, or, maybe a couple of greens, or maybe I'm lucky enough to have gotten drops and I'm in a lot of greens, and I've gotten a couple of blues from dungeons or dungeon quest rewards. Still, I could be more powerful. And if I was more powerful, then I'd be able to remain strong enough to withstand certain quests. And some of them are overtuned, or they're a little bit buggy, or better cope with hyperspawns in caves. I wouldn't be so fearful of going into a cave if I knew that my character was the most powerful that it could be in that moment before I went into the cave. So that is a real problem at the moment. And I don't know, though, one of the things I'm torn on is I kind of hope that we can't trade gold, or we can't mail gold to our alts, because part of the leveling process is making that person have, or character rather, have its own life and its own luck, and earn its own gold, grinding, working towards something. And it also would help to maintain a level playing field for everyone. But Blizzard's not going to get it right, of course. And for me, subjectively speaking, I wouldn't be happy if we could trade gold. But being as what we get is what we get. I've got certain hopes, and I do hope that we can't trade gold. But if we can, well, it is what it is. One of the things that they really do need to fix is the stupidly long spawn time for some of the enemies that need to be killed for quest lines. And one of them in particular that I've got in mind is Kreenig's Snarl Snout in the Barrens, and I've had no luck in being able to even target him because there's always a long wait. And you know why there's a long wait? Because his spawn timer is 18 to 20 minutes, and there's a really, really long wait. And then, as I have done, you can wait for an hour, just kill things around about and work out with the people that are there, hey, I'm first, I'm second, I'm third, and create a line. But then along comes someone else and they just snipe the kill. And then you've got to wait another 18 or 20 minutes. And so to this day, I have not done that quest because I just refuse to wait in line. Sometimes I might go past and I'll see the line of people there and think, nah, I'm not going to do that. So please, I really do hope, Blizzard, that you fix that problem. Respecting the line. People say these people come along and they don't respect the line, and that's what I said too the first time it happened to me, and the second time that it happened to me. And then I thought, no, hang on. At the moment, this game, the hardcore classic version of WoW, is not an MMO. It's basically a solo game. So now I think to myself, if I can go along there and if I can get the kill on something, if I can be the first to target it and get the kill, I'm just going to go for it. And I'm really sorry to all the people that wait in lines, but it just doesn't work. Especially because if you really think about it, no one has an absolute right to say, this is my kill. This is my kill. Don't you kill this thing, it's mine. And I really don't think that works. So, yeah. But there are good things. Like I said, professions matter, levelling, all of your secondary professions matter, guilds matter. I'm often saved by people. Like the other day, I was in Ashenvale killing harpies and I was going to die. Much like it looks like I'm going to die here. So, oh, I'm dazed. Come on, Voidy, come with me. Don't worry about fighting these guys, just run with me. Fear one of them. But there's no point in fighting that one because there's another caster. So let's just run for it. Yep. Let's just run for it. I never really thought I was going to die there, but when panic sets in, you just got to think, okay, this is what I need to do. Which is actually not what I did when I got killed by the raptor, and not what I did when I got killed by Colgars at level 36. But, you live and you learn. Some days I'm more able to cope with panic situations than others. So, yeah, it's just it's a moment by moment, day by day thing. I mean, I've seen people taking apart hardcore death videos, and they're not allowing for the way the person feels. It's like people should play like they're perfect every single time, and that's just not going to happen, is it? Really? Does anyone out there play perfectly every single time? And every single time they're aware of the things they can do to mitigate the damage to their character or to mitigate their own death? No, it doesn't always happen. But the best we can hope for is that, yeah, we do wake up in the morning feeling relatively self-aware and able to look after our characters the best we can, which again... So, as I was saying, the other day I was out doing a quest to kill harpies. And all of a sudden I noticed my Voidwalker's getting healed. How the hell? And there was this Tauren druid that was healing my Voidwalker and just looking out for me. And we are not... One of the other rules is that we are not allowed to accept help on a constant basis, but it's okay to accept help every now and again, and it's okay to help someone else, but we are not allowed to ask for help. Now, we wouldn't need to ask for help if we were allowed to group up. I mean, really, so I find the community here is so helpful. So anyway, that's about it. So will Blizzard save us from some of the harshest rules of the current hardcore classic experience? I think so, most definitely. And will they get it totally right? Not a chance. It's not possible, because even though our one life that our character has will most certainly be enhanced by the harshest aspects of the struggle to 60 being gone, it's all subjective, and people have certain feelings about it, things that they want or they don't want. By the way, right here, I have a bit of a conversation with some guy in chat because I am so sick of misogynistic attitudes and immature guys that have these names. And I don't know, I'm not going to go into it, but if you can see what I'm writing in chat, it's kind of funny. And I really was laughing to myself as I was doing this. And it's not like I feel um, triggered by this sort of thing all the time. Most of the time, I just let it go and it goes over my head because it happens so often. You know, even getting down to people logging in saying, "Oh, how you going, boys? How they hanging, guys?" You know, and straight away that excludes me and all the other girls that are in the group, in the guild. And while I have absolutely no problem with being called a dude or hey, how you going, guys, and I say that myself, I don't think the time has come for me to consider myself a boy. So I really hate it and I let it go. But as you know, the more you let something go, the more it festers. And this poor guy, with the name that he's got, ended up catching my 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 anger. And it's actually quite funny. My response to him in the first place was to call him, at the end of what I said, I called him a fuckface. And, you know, there was no need for me to do that, but that's how I felt. So, guys out there, if you find yourself the subject of this sort of thing from a guy or from a girl, please remember it's the mood they're in at the moment and it doesn't define the person. Okay, so while you guys might have fun reading this, and I'll leave it in for that reason, we both ended up saying, oh, best of luck, or take care out there, or whatever it was we said. So it all turned out well anyway. But it's still quite funny, so I thought I'd leave it in. By the way, if anybody knows how to stop that thudding sound when I target something, please let me know. I've been playing around with my master volume and sound effects and ambience, and I don't know what it is that makes a difference. So if somebody could please tell me how to stop that awful thudding, I'd be really appreciative. So, as opposed to the times that I've died before, I've now got it down to a little bit of a fine art when I've got more than one, which is I rotate around them and target my Void Walker onto them. And I've had to do that because I still don't have all of the Void Walker talents, especially the AoE taunt. And so, yeah, I'll target around them, dot them, fear one, tell my Void Walker to attack one. Whichever one looks like it's going to attack me again, I'll put my Void Walker on it. And, whichever's got the least health, I'll try to get down as quickly as I can. And apart from that, that's pretty much all there is to it. And it's good that, I've finally gotten it down to a fine art, because these things, it's funny, these things do not matter in retail. You don't have to do these things to survive. So all of these things I'm learning now are just helping me to play my class better, and to, under the circumstances, that is, right? So just doing my best here to stay alive. And I've actually done herbing alchemy, and I did try tailoring, but I got bored with it. And what I would do is I'd go tailoring herbalism, and then when I was at a stage where I wanted to swap over, then I'd be able to level. And oh my god, I think I'm in trouble here. Oh, I've just got my Void Walker on passive because I want to save him and I want him to come with me, so he's just going to follow me down, and because there's no point in fighting these. Come on. Yes, I am definitely in trouble here. Come on, Voidy. Oh my god, there's 3 more, 4 more. I'm getting dazed. Crap. And I've got to run through these 2 at the gate and try to stay away from the ones outside. Run right through the middle. But luckily they don't both aggro because I'm low level compared to them. They're green, I think. I think they're green. So yeah, I'm getting dazed. Oh, I didn't need to fear him. So there you go. I think I've made it out alive. Yeah. And this guy behind me has said in say chat dot 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 dot. I don't know what that means. And whenever anybody does do the dot 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 dot, they might be making a point, but they're assuming that other people are thinking the same thing or that they get that point, and that really annoys me. If you've got something to say, say it. One last thing that I do want to say is I want to do a personal shout out to all the people I played retail with, and gosh, it would be nice if they came to play hardcore with me. At the moment, it wouldn't make any difference because we're not allowed to group up, and we could just go hi to each other. But if we were in a dungeon, but apart from that, we wouldn't be able to group up unless we were doing an entire run together. 2 or 3 people can do that. So, yeah, I am looking forward to the Blizzard servers, the official ones coming out. But yeah, I want to say hi to all the people I played retail with, and it's taken me a while to be okay with playing the game as I truly want to. And over the years, I've been really torn about that. And actually, for many years, I was, and it ended up that I would be playing the game in a way that I didn't want to, or I was doing things for other people that I really didn't want to do, like raiding. You know, I was doing it for the guild, and I was not having fun, and I don't particularly like raiding, although I used to. I used to get my AOTC and do that in pugs, but I just don't have the time these days to spend raiding because I'm a carer for my husband. He had a stroke about 10 years ago, and I'm a carer for him, so I'm not always able to spend a lot of time online in one chunk, like, oh, we're going to raid for 3 hours. Well, sorry, I really can't do that. So, and I don't enjoy it. I find it quite boring. So anyway, I left the game for a while. Each time, though, I did come back, and I came back for the people. And even though I know they won't see this or hear this, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for helping me to catch up when I came back. And thank you for helping me become familiar with the newer systems and Mythic Plus dungeons that I hadn't done before, and helping me to gear up. And this was particularly towards the end of Shadowlands. So thank you for all the laughs and the fun. You know who you are. And I think if people are meant to stay friends, they will stay friends. And that's my belief on that. Anyway, I'll just keep this video running for a little while and see what trouble I can get into. And I think I am going to get into quite a bit of trouble here. So yeah, that's the end of my thoughts on the Blizzard hardcore servers. And well, you know, while I've got these hopes for it in relation to the trading of gold, or rather the non-trading of gold, I will still play it, and I'm looking forward to playing it because the restrictions we've got at the moment are so very harsh. It doesn't make sense to me when you've just got one life. So anyway, fingers crossed, and we'll see how we go.